guys, and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to tell you guys 10 things you need to know when it comes to Scorpios and love. Scorpios can be quite a mystery, especially when they are in love, and a lot of people don't really understand how they love, and they don't really understand the love nature and the love style of Scorpios. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and explain to you what it is like when a Scorpio feels love and when they are in love, so that you guys can understand what it feels like to them and what it's like to experience love through their eyes. Firstly, Scorpios are ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is the planet of power, it's the planet of action, and it's also the planet that represents your desires. This basically means that Scorpios possess an intense amount of inner power. Scorpios are super powerful inside themselves. Scorpios have this very intense, deep inner world that is quite profound, it's quite complex, it's very difficult to understand, it's very difficult to grasp. And through them constantly experiencing things so deeply and so profoundly inside themselves, they build a lot of inner power within themselves. They gain this inner strength that is basically unbreakable. So it's very difficult to break a Scorpio. It's very difficult to completely destroy a Scorpio inside themselves. They will not let anyone do that. They will not allow you. Now, the thing is, the only time a Scorpio will allow somebody to break them, and the only time they will allow them to really hurt them and shatter them, is when they're in love. And that is why when it comes to love, Scorpios can be incredibly selective about who they love, and they can be quite intense when they are in love, because they know that when they love a person, this person has the ability to completely shatter them. Now the thing is, a Scorpio will not give their love, a Scorpio will not give their heart to someone that they can see is not a strong person, to someone that they can see is not a powerful person within themselves. Scorpios are very attracted to people who radiate inner strength. If you're going to show a Scorpio that you're a needy person, if you're going to show the Scorpio that you're an emotionally weak person, then they're going to run for the hills. A Scorpio wants to be with a person who possesses the same amount of emotional strength and emotional power than what they do. The thing is, a Scorpio can sense when a person exudes this inner power and this inner strength. It's not something you can fake. It's not something you can be pretentious about and be like, ooh, look at me, I have all this inner power, if you don't. Scorpios can immediately pick up who possesses that amount of inner power, that amount of inner composure, and those are the kind of people that Scorpios fall in love with. It's very difficult for a Scorpio to blend themselves and basically become one and enter a partnership with a person who's emotionally weak, who does not possess this ability to be strong within themselves. So that's the very first thing to know about Scorpios and love. They only love those that are very strong within themselves. The second thing is, to Scorpios, it's not about looks, it's not about appearances, it's about deep soul-to-soul connections. So like I said, Scorpios possess this incredibly deep, profound emotional world, and they basically experience life through this incredibly deep, complex emotional world that's inside themselves. Now the thing is, they can feel things. They can feel what people are about. If you're going to be pretentious, if you're going to be fake, they can instantly pick that up. The thing is, a Scorpio does not look at you and try and sum you up and figure you out according to your appearance and what you look like. A Scorpio feels you. A Scorpio will literally look at you, and you can literally be the prettiest face in the world. You can have the sexiest body in the entire world. But if your soul is ugly, if your soul is not pure, and if your soul is not beautiful, they will not get connected to you. They'll not feel a connection with you. Scorpios can literally sense what your soul is like. They can sense if your soul is pure, if your soul is dirty, if you've done bad things, if you have selfish, bad intentions and motivations, or if you're a pure soul who wants to create beauty in this world and who wants to do good things. There's no way that you can fool a Scorpio. If you are a impure soul who's selfish and who has bad motivations, no amount of makeup and no amount of things like plastic surgery or expensive clothes or anything like that can fool a Scorpio. They will see you for who you truly are, no matter how many things you use to cover up all the bad things inside of you. So those of you who are in love with a Scorpio or who possibly wants to be with a Scorpio, don't focus on your appearance. Don't focus on your looks. I'm telling you, they do not care about that at all. Focus on your inner world and focus on building a sense of emotional power and emotional strength inside yourself. A Scorpio will instantly notice when you are a person who is self-aware and who possesses this personal power, and that's what they're attracted to. Scorpios are not attracted to looks whatsoever. Now, the third thing is that when Scorpios love, it's basically like an all or nothing thing to them. So that's why it's very, very tricky for a lot of people to date Scorpios and to be in relationships with Scorpios, because very few people have this ability to literally be all or nothing within a relationship. When a Scorpio is in love, they literally give their everything to that person. Their entire existence revolves around that person. The thing is, the trap that Scorpios fall in very often is they give their everything to the person they love. But the thing is, the person that they love does not give their everything to the Scorpio. That's why Scorpios consistently find themselves disappointed and hurt in love, because they find it very, very tricky to find a person who's able to match that profound, intense level of love that they give to the person. If you're in love with a Scorpio or you like a Scorpio, the advice that I can give you is to spend as much time with that person and to give as much attention to that person as what you possibly can. Because the thing is, the Scorpio is going to give everything that they are to you. It will be quite unfair to basically only give half of who you are to the Scorpio. You have to give everything that you are back to them, or they're going to feel like their love is not appreciated and like their love is being wasted. A Scorpio needs to feel like their profound love that they have is actually being appreciated and it's not going to waste. By showing the Scorpio that you'd rather hang out with your friends or you'd rather talk to other people or kind of do your own thing instead of spend time with them, you're actually showing them that you do not want to become one with them. You do not want to literally intertwine your existence with them. You're showing them that you want to lead a separate life from them and you want to be independent, which is totally understandable. But one thing you need to understand is when you're in a relationship with a Scorpio, this dynamic doesn't really work. Scorpios enter relationships to literally merge themselves and become one with their partner. To them, the concept of their partner pursuing their own thing, being free and independent, and just kind of being out there in the world without them is not what they're about. They're about literally doing everything with their partner. They're about literally being there in every single waking moment with their partner, accompanying their partner to every single thing that their partner does. The thing is, if this kind of relationship dynamic is not going to work for you, it's going to be very tricky for your relationship with the Scorpios to work out. This is how Scorpios want their relationships to be. They do not want to have a separate life from their partner. They do not want to feel separated from their partner. This literally destroys them. This literally hurts them. The thing is, people often think that Scorpios are possessive and controlling, but they're not. It's just that the way they love is so different and it's so profound to any other love in the zodiac that, like I said, they expect their partner and the person that they love to become one with them. And when the person they love isn't one with them, it's super duper confusing and it really, really hurts them. The Scorpio will put all of their focus onto you. They'll put all of their time into you. And when they see that you would rather give time and focus to someone else or something else, it really, really does hurt them. I always say that entering into a relationship with a Scorpio is not for the faint of heart. You really need to be able to become one with them. You need to be able to literally intertwine your life with them. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're in for a little bit of trouble. The fourth thing is that to a Scorpio, love is basically like an intuitive thing. It's basically an emotion and it's a feeling that they just feel. So basically, when a Scorpio sees the person that they love or the person that they admire for the first time, they will feel this intense rush of emotions and this powerful surge of feelings within themselves. If they do not feel that, if they do not feel this rush of intense, deep, powerful feelings inside themselves when they meet you, they never will. Like, the thing is, to a Scorpio, it's all about that emotion. It's all about feeling that intense, profound, deep passion for a person. And if they don't feel that, they're not going to be interested. They're just not going to care. You also can't convince the Scorpio to feel that way down the line by going on a couple of dates or getting to know them. The Scorpio will know if you're the one or not. And if you're not the one for them, then there's no way that you will ever be, unfortunately. Usually when a Scorpio loves you, you will know because they will literally tell you the whole time and they will make it super known to you how deep and profound their feelings are for you. The fifth thing is that you need to stay connected to them. To a Scorpio, it's all about feeling that strong feeling of connection to their partner. And when they feel that their partner is disconnecting from them, when they feel that their partner is becoming distant from them and their partner isn't, as strongly connected and as close to them as what they usually are, they become incredibly fearful because this is when they start worrying that they're going to lose their partner. And this is incredibly, incredibly daunting to them because when they love someone, that love overtakes them. That love is their life. That love is their everything. And the chances of losing that love is literally the worst thing they can imagine. So that is why when a Scorpio starts feeling the sense of disconnection from you, when they can see that you're not talking to them as much as you usually do, when they can see that you're not giving them as much affection as what you usually do, and you're just acting different, this will literally put them into a mode of paranoia and like a mode of anxiety because feeling that sense of connection is very important. And when they don't feel that anymore, they start freaking out. That is why you can maybe see a Scorpio acting a bit jealous and a little bit obsessive when you're maybe talking to someone else more than what you're talking to them. It's not because they're jealous per se, but it's more because they can see you disconnecting from them. They can see you getting further and further away from them. And their fear is that you're eventually just going to go away and they're not going to have that connection with you anymore. Scorpios have this like telepathic way of reading people. So they look at a person and if they're connected to that person, they can literally sense what that person's feeling. They can sense what that person's thinking. And the thing is, when they're in a relationship with the person and when they love a person and this person starts disconnecting from them, they aren't able to sense the person they love's feelings anymore. They aren't able to sense their thoughts and just basically pick up on their energy and their vibe. That's why being connected and remaining connected to a Scorpio is very important in their relationships. That's also why I say it's not about appearances and it's not about looks or anything like that. But to them, it's about feeling that sense of deep, deep connection with the person they're with. A Scorpio wants to just look at you and know that they don't have to worry. They want to look at you and know that they can feel safe, secure, and loved in that relationship or in that partnership. If they look at you and they can't feel that, they can't just connect with you in a sense where they instinctively know everything's going to be okay, that's when things start going wrong. That's when things start becoming a bit tricky within a relationship. The next thing is that a Scorpio's love literally has no limits, and it literally just grows and becomes bigger and more powerful over time. So the way a Scorpio loves you now, in 10 years from now, that Scorpio will love you 10,000 times more. I know that might not even be imaginable, but trust me, it's completely possible. Now the thing is, when a Scorpio is in love with someone, their love just grows and becomes bigger. And the thing is, this love for the person will overtake them. It will consume them. It will literally take over their entire existence and their entire life. Now the thing is, when a Scorpio loves someone so profoundly and this person hurts them or breaks their heart, you can imagine, because this love they felt for a person has literally taken over their entire existence, their entire life. When that love gets taken away from them, when that warm, fuzzy, amazing feeling of love gets taken away, they are left with the most deepest, intense pain you can ever imagine. There is no way for them to fill that empty space that was once filled with love for this person. The thing about a Scorpio is when that intense feeling of love gets taken away, it turns into a very intense feeling of hate in a lot of cases. And this is when a Scorpio kind of becomes incredibly bitter, and they can kind of act a little bit scary, because this space within them that was once filled with so much love and so much positive good feelings is now literally just filled with pain and possible hate towards the person they once loved. That's why when a Scorpio is in love and a relationship ends, it's literally like they do a 360 in their behavior and they completely change who they are. It's because they don't know how to live life. They don't know how to actually survive without that love, because it's that love that kept them going. It's that love that they fed off of every single day. Now, a lot of the times when a Scorpio's heart has been broken, it's very difficult for them to open their heart up to love again, because that pain that they've experienced is so horrible. It's so unbearable that they do not ever want to experience that ever again. So they'd rather not experience love so that they can rather not ever experience that horrible feeling of losing their one and only love ever again. Due to this, Scorpios are incredibly guarded, and they're incredibly scared of falling in love and opening themselves up to people, because they know that there is a very big chance that they can feel the worst pain imaginable if they open up themselves to love that person. So the next thing is, like I said earlier, Scorpios know that people can be incredibly beautiful on the outside, but they can be ugly and horrible on the inside. Scorpios know that looks can be incredibly deceiving. So that's why Scorpios actually do not care much about things like status. They also don't care much about things like where you come from and your actual background and that kind of thing, because they know that those kind of superficial things have nothing to do with the soul of a person. A person can come from anywhere in the world. A person can come from any background or any kind of social class, and they can still have an extremely ugly soul, or they can have an extremely beautiful soul. And that's why a Scorpio will always open themselves up to love any person who's worthy of loving. Scorpios do not discriminate. They do not discriminate by any kind of thing when it comes to love. If they can feel that love and that love is reciprocated to them, they do not care if you are poor. They do not care if you aren't the prettiest face in the world. A Scorpio will rather be with a person who's poor and maybe does not have a pretty face but has an incredibly beautiful soul and the ability to love them profoundly than be with somebody who's rich, has a gorgeous face and body, but has a dirty soul and does not know how to love. That is how a Scorpio thinks when it comes to love. So that is why you just cannot fool them. It is impossible. Scorpios love purity. Scorpios are very attracted to people that have pure intentions and people that want to do good and just be good. Scorpio can instantly pick up if you have impure intentions. Scorpio is the sign of sexuality, and the reason for this is because Scorpios love sex with the person that they love because it is the best way that they can connect with the person they love in the deepest, most profound way possible. So to a Scorpio, sex isn't just something that they do for fun and for pleasure. Now the thing is, I do need to just clear this out. You get two kinds of Scorpios in this world. To most Scorpios, sex isn't just a thing that they do for love and pleasure. Sex is something that they do to connect with the person they love in the deepest possible way that they can. Sex is basically the most intimate bond of two souls that you can possibly imagine. And to a Scorpio, that is what they're all about. They're literally about combining two souls in the most intimate way that you can possibly imagine. So that is why Scorpio rules over sexuality. But the thing is, you do get Scorpios that do sleep around and they do have casual sex and that kind of thing. But one thing you need to understand about Scorpios who do that, and it's very rare that they do that, but the ones that actually do that are kind of confused and they're kind of lost and they're just trying to find that deep soul-to-soul connection with someone. And a lot of the times they can sleep around and a lot of the times they can kind of, hook up with a whole bunch of people because they're trying to find a deep soul-to-soul connection and they don't really know how to find it. And to them, they think they can find it through sex. Just like how a lot of people are in this world. So the thing is, to Scorpios, it's not about the actual physical act of sex and the actual physical pleasure that you get from it. To Scorpios, it's about connecting the deepest way that they can with someone. Okay, and then the last thing is you need to be a very, very deep, complex mystery in order to catch the attention of a Scorpio. So like I said, to Scorpios, it's not about what they can see. It's not about the looks. Scorpios want to penetrate beneath the surface. They want to penetrate beneath what is visible and they want to uncover what is below the surface. Now the thing is, if they try and penetrate through the surface and they get to the bottom of it and there is nothing, they're going to be disappointed. And the thing is, a lot of Scorpios know that that is what a lot of people are like. They know that a lot of people have all this going on the surface, all this going on that meets the eye, but when you penetrate below that, when you penetrate below what you can see on the surface, it's empty. There's nothing. And Scorpios know this. That's why Scorpios want somebody that is an intense mystery to them. Scorpios want to be with somebody that they can break open and find so much beneath that surface, and they can dig even deeper and find even more and dig deeper and find even more. And there's just literally this endless amount of depth to the person. That's the kind of person a Scorpio wants to be with. A Scorpio doesn't want to be with a person that they can figure out in one day. A Scorpio doesn't want to be with a person that they can sum up on one piece of paper. A Scorpio wants to be with a person who's a book. A Scorpio wants to be with a person who's a work of art. If you're going to be just like everybody else and there's not much going on inside you and you lack a deep emotional world and you lack depth to you, then there's no way a Scorpio will be interested in you, unfortunately. Okay guys, so this is my video on what it's like to love a Scorpio and how Scorpios act when they are in love. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to add anything to what I've said, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see some more astrology content, then subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time.